Colorado Supreme Court has disqualified Donald Trump. First, this is about the 14th Amendment to the Constitution, specifically Section 3. The 14th Amendment was passed just after the Civil War because various politicians that had participated in the Confederate Rebellion, they were trying to get right back into elected office in the Union after the Confederacy was defeated. This provision of Section 3 of the 14th Amendment is thereby called the disqualification clause. Number two, Trump is going to try to claim that the disqualification clause only deals with the Civil War and is no longer an operative part of the Constitution. But this is wrong. The plain text of Section 3 makes it very clear that it is a general provision. It is not limited to the Civil War. The key parts of the provision are as follows. No person shall hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or any state who, having previously taken an oath as an officer of the United States to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. This provision of the Constitution is just as alive and with just as much force and effect today as it was when it was first passed. That's the way constitutional provisions work. Number three, Trump is also going to try to say that he was somehow not an officer of the United States, that the president is not an officer of the United States. Yes, you heard me correctly. If anyone is an officer of the United States, it's the president. And if you don't believe me, let's just focus on the whole oath part, which is really the key to the 14th Amendment, Section 3. Here is the oath that Donald Trump took as president, as all presidents do. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. Donald Trump took an oath to execute the office of president and to support the Constitution. So do you think that just maybe 14th Amendment Section 3 applies to him? Number four, the real question here that's ultimately going to be decided by the U.S. Supreme Court in one way or another is whether or not Trump actually engaged in insurrection. The Colorado courts found that yes, he did. The Supreme Court might end up agreeing with that. They also could disagree with that and say, no, he didn't. Or they could do something in the middle and basically say, we don't know. We're going to send it back to the lower court and make them look it over again. And some particular justices may take the position that only a conviction would show that Trump engaged in insurrection, even though the Constitution says nothing of the sort, and there's no legal precedent that can be read, and there's no legal precedent for reading that requirement into the Constitution when it wasn't there. Number five, what's going to happen next? Because this is an issue of federal constitutional law, it's appealable to the U.S. Supreme Court. They are probably going to take the case. The question is, what are they going to do with it? Like I said, they may mostly kick it back to the lower court and not give us the kind of sweeping, authoritative, clear decision that we would like them to make, which might mean that this issue ends up back at SCOTUS later in 2024. In the meantime, a multitude of other state and local officials are probably going to be following suit and finding that Trump is disqualified. And to be clear, any official with the authority to determine who is or is not eligible for a ballot has the ability to say that Donald Trump is disqualified. So in other words, 2024 hasn't even started yet and it's already just going completely bananas.